Good morning. I hope you are doing well. So this is mobility one, and as you can see, I have a couple chairs going on today. Do you need the whole setup? No. Do I want you to feel comfortable in what you're doing? Absolutely. So some of us can get a little further than others. Some of us are a little more scared than others to push our boundaries, right? So I think it's important that we feel safe in pushing our boundaries. And sometimes having a few extra things will make us feel safe. I'm going to put my honey down the remote over in this pocket. I'm hoping to get a little closer on certain things. So where we're starting today, I want to face the right, and again, we all have options. Because it's 6:30 in the morning, and it happens to be December, it's cold, and you're coming in, not all of us have garages to put our cars in, so you might have some cold fingers and toes and all that kind of stuff, so we have to do a little bit of a warm-up before we actually get started. So I'm gonna hold on to the back of the chair with my right hand, and I'm just going to walk my leg out, walk my leg in, walk my leg out. And I feel very secure in the chair, like my head weight is over the chair and not split weight like if I was standing on both feet, right? Open and close, open and close, and 4, and 3, and 2. I'm gonna hold this one, hold. I'm gonna take my left hand and give my knee just a little push, making sure my right knee, so I'm trying to get to 90 degrees, that would be lovely. And my knee and my heel are stacked right now, and I have a little bit of a stretch in this joint, left hip joint. My abs are tight, all the good stuff. I'm going to go to the other side. And again, my left hip sits bone is definitely in the chair. My left arm is wrapped around the chair, so I feel very secure here. Open. And right now, this hip's like, well, not yet, sister, because you can see that my knee's pulled in where it should be stacked, right? I want to have it stacked. So I'm going to loosen up that hip joint, but you can see that my knee, it stays at 90 degrees. I'm not trying to reach anywhere. I'm just opening and closing the gate, right? Go ahead and lubricate, please. We need a little oil. And again, everything's up nice and tall. 4, 3, 2, one more. Hold this one, hold. I'm gonna scooch my foot out just a little bit to make sure I'm stacked. Now I'm at 90 degrees. It just takes a little bit to loosen things up and say, it's okay. And again, we're going to block the knees. I want you to relax your hips for a minute. Let your arms do the work. And bring it to the back. I'm going to pick up my right hip. I'm going to pick up my right hip and set it down. So I'm not trying to lean, per se. Pick it up, set it down. So you're doing a crunch. Crunch. Can you feel your right glute squeeze, release? So all these muscles over here have to wake up to pick up the right side of your pelvis. 4, 3, 2, now let's go to the left. Squeeze up left. Left glute, feel a little hamstring trying to help. Abs are tight, get a little crunch here. So your pelvis and your rib cage are coming closer together on that left side. Sometimes I say hip, and people get confused on what we're doing. But if you think about your pelvis goes up and down, and there's that pivot point of the other side, right? 4, 3, 2, rest for a second. So we lubricated the hip joint. We're telling your abs and glutes they have to wake up to help us this morning. Doesn't matter which way you're sitting. I want you to lift through the chest and around the back. It's a version of cat-cow, waking up the spine a little bit. Because, you know, we're in bed, or, well, some of us get 4 or 5 hours. Some of us get 7, 8 hours, maybe even 10 hours, who knows, right? If y'all are lucky, right? Anyway, and our spine has all our body weight on it. Whether you're laying on your side or your back. And if you lay on your belly, your back's in an odd position as well. And our back gets really stiff. Hold the cat. Now pull your navel in a little more, tuck your chin, tuck your tush. I'm holding on with my hands on my knees, and I'm trying to lean back as much as possible. That comes straight up through the chest. We're going to slide those hands to the back of the chair. Ooh, you get cramp. Nice. And I'm going to push forward, lifting the chin. That's the other thing. I don't talk about dropping your head back. I talk about lifting through your chin. Words mean everything. And relax. I'm going to take this leg off. As you can see, I have multiple layers, right? Had nice frost on the windows this morning. Get rid of glasses on over here. Again, anytime you need water, please grab it. Tis the season of dry skin, right? All right, so moving on. Let's go ahead and get some shoulders and neck. Nice and tall in the chair. Roll the shoulders nice and easy. Just nice and easy. Just rolling and rolling and rolling. Change direction. I'm not pitching forward. I'm staying really tall and just allowing my shoulder blades to move up and down. My shoulders to move forward and back. And relax. You have to extend through your neck to be able to turn to the right and turn to the left and turn to the right and turn to the left and to the right and to the left. Release for a minute. So, again, our neck is part of our spine. We've been on it for however many hours we've been in bed. I want you to take your right ear over. We're going to use your right hand to hold on to your head. Push the floor. That's where we're starting. This is your fixed position. I want you to push your head into the fixed position and palm the floor. You should have a pretty good stretch. And you're like, but this is mobility. I get it. But we have to make those neck muscles loosen up a little bit more and your traps. And release, turn your head. Turn your head. You should be able to turn it just a smidge more. We're going to do the other side. Drop. Again. Fixed position. Palm the floor. Now push your head back to the right. Oh my goodness, this side's tight. I caught a glance of myself in the mirror. And I'm like going, ooh, my head is not getting where it needs to go. I bet you somebody else isn't either. And up, turn. Oh, that's much better, right? Turn and turn. Getting all these neck muscles to go, okay, we can do this. All right, moving on. We're gonna go back to the right. And I'm going to utilize the chair. You do not have to. If you can put your foot out and knee bent and you have a big stretch, that's probably where you need to start. Or if you want to elevate, maybe on a yoga block. Up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and kick my leg up. My knee is slightly bent here. So I can already feel my hamstring, by the way. It's like, girl, what are you doing? I'm not really. A little lean. A little lean. We're just going back and forth. And my foot is flexed, by the way. It's just an easy dynamic movement, right? We reach all the time. So what I want to do is take my left hand and reach for the back of the chair. And lean and go forward. So now we're adding a bit of a rotation. So it's not about reaching my toes, by the way. Not yet at least, right? Find the rotation. What I feel is my right back of my pelvis. This is what I'm feeling the most right now, because that's the tightest. One more. Either turn around, or in my case, switch chairs. And again, sitting tall. I'm in the middle of the chair, feel very safe, foot's flexed. We start here. That little back, like, come on, stretch. So it's not really my hamstring that I'm working per se. It's trying to get these loosened up in the low back and hip area. All right, so here we go. Reach for the chair. This side's a lot looser compared to the other. Pay attention to your left leg. Make sure that toe stays at 12 o'clock. Abs are engaged. And yes, I know this is actually my right, but I call it backwards because I'm facing wrong, right? And you can see by the chair, I am actually touching middle of the chair instead of the corner like the other side. Let's do 4 more here. 4, open, 3, open, 2, last one, and come up. I want you to stand up for a minute, and there goes my head, yay. Shake it out. So I'm hoping you can feel from here to about mid hamstring right now. Going back to the other side. Again, my knee is bent. You can definitely see it's not straight. It's definitely bent. Both hands are just going to reach for the chair, come up. Reach for the chair. Reach for the chair. Pull your abs in. Even though we're mobility, flexibility, all the good stuff, you still have to keep your core engaged. That does not mean tight. Engaged means tone. There's a difference. Hold this one. Allow that low back, upper glute to stretch a little bit. Spread your shoulder blades, feel your upper back stretch. Now you might start getting a tinge of hamstring here. It's okay. We're going to get there in just a second. We can stay on the side so that I'm not reaching, right? Knee is way bent. Here we go. Chair and chair. If your foot tends to drop out to the side, that means something's tight in your hip, right? And we're trying to loosen it up, saying, stay at 12 o'clock. Keeping your foot flexed. Pull your abs up and in. Let's do 4, 3, 2, come up. I want you to stand up again, right? Again, feeling the back side. Have a seat. All right. This time my legs are a little more straight. And I'm going to take my other leg. I'm not going to say it's comfortable. I have a stretch here, right? And if you need to have a little more support on the back of that knee, it's easy. And having your heel hang off a little bit actually helps lower and eases up the stretch just a little bit so you can maintain it. What I like about the chairs is I'm gonna use my hand to block that knee, right? And now when I move, that knee's not falling in. This hand is gonna reach straight over the chair, ready? Reach, open, reach, open, reach, open. So I'm thinking about the back of the chair, right? Gives me a guideline, right? People go, oh, why are you using chairs? Blah, blah, blah. Because I like to. It helps me make sure I'm doing great technique. Now, hold on to the chair. Now, you didn't know where you're at, so you have to engage this glute now, then we'll let go. How far can you reach, right? I can put my fingers. I have a nice stretch, right? I have a little bit of a stretch here, not a lot. Arm goes up, and my body is facing the front of the room. So I don't want to think down, because I don't collapse. I want to think lift the chest towards the ceiling. Can you reach further? It's a magic trick, right? We're gonna sweep the hand down to the foot and right back up, ready? Sweep and open. Sweep and open. Nice job. Sweep and open. And this is a great start to your mobility, right? We have to move in directions we don't normally move. I don't know how many of you all have a leg up and sweeping your arm like this, but if you do, then you have to figure out a different move. Go one more. And we're going to take that leg down. We're going to switch the sides. This is really great for anyone that doesn't have a lot of mobility, first of all. Seniors, obese or morbidly obese. This is actually where I started my chair fitness classes, was at Southwest Boulevard Family Healthcare Center. I opened up a grassroots gym over there, and that was one of my things was I took 32 morbidly obese individuals for free to train them. And it's hard to get up and down off the floor. There's all kinds of issues. So if I put them in the chair, they can do all kinds of stuff. All right, here we go. Nice and tall, right? Going to take that leg and block it. Right? And again, my foot's hanging off the end, but I want to keep it flexed. Right? Nice and tall. Oops, sorry. Oops, wrong one. And we're going to reach. So you can see that my arm's staying on the parallel. And it's not that I'm leaning, right? It's not that I'm leaning. It just gives me a guide, and I don't have to like go, okay, what am I doing here? What am I doing there? I'm walking my right leg with my right arm and hand, holding onto the chair so it doesn't go anywhere. I'm keeping my arm and body up on a parallel plane so I can find what I need, right? The next one, we're going to hold on to the chair, and you get to hold on to the chair wherever you're going. Yes, my hand just went low. I'm thinking about my right hip, and I'm pushing it into the chair. So I have this lovely stretch off here. Now, I need you to engage your right glute so that leg stays open. Arm goes up. Find the stretch. It's quite a lovely stretch. And again, we're going to sweep. Ready? Sweep and open. Sweep and open. So bodies to your thigh, bodies to the front. Bodies to the thigh again, bodies to the front. And my arm is making this nice little arc up and down, staying with my body and not moving independently. I just let go of my glute. I felt my knee drop. I'm going to switch my left hand to my foot. Now I have a hamstring stretch on this side. Woo. Abs are in, and we're just sweeping the arm up and down. And 4, 3, 2, last one. And then again, right? I want you to stand up for me. You should feel like all of this now, right? The hips should feel a little more movable, first and foremost. Okay, so I'm going to give some modifications. I need to open the view up so my head's not chopped off. I guess we could just flip it. There we go. I normally don't put anyone on the floor in mobility 1, but I want to give options. I think it's important to have options. Standing behind the chair, my right foot goes forward, and my left foot forward, right foot back. Just because I'm close, right? My feet are in the same direction. I'm on a pair of skis. I want to think about tucking my tush. And what I feel is my right hip flexor. The leg that's in the back, you want to feel that hip flexor. So that's your first option. Second option, depending on how mobile you are, you notice that I have a handy-dandy mat. So I have my knee on the mat. I'm going to take my left foot forward again. I'm up nice and tall. I want to make sure foot, knee, and hip are on alignment, and I'm tucking my tush. Now I have a deeper stretch. I'm not side view. I am not lunging forward. I'm up tall, and all I'm doing is tucking my tush. And I'm really pushing that tailbone forward, right? I have a bigger stretch. I have a bigger stretch because I need a little bit of extra. Again, we're all in different positions where we're at our fitness level, our flexibility or mobility, right? And because we have the chairs, I can push a little bit and it takes the pressure out of my knee. I use the mat because my knees don't like the hardwood floor. Let's be real. All right, check it out. So left goes back. And again, you can see that I'm not on a balance beam, but I'm on like railroad tracks or a pair of skis, and my toes are at 12 o'clock. Tuck your tush. Find the stretch in the left hip flexor. And again, you have a choice. You can stand up and do this, or you can go to a kneeling, again, 90 degrees, right? And then same concept, tuck the tush. Because now I can feel more into my quad as well. It's just a deeper stretch. I'm going to give one more variation in just a second. And up. Move this for just a second, so it's not a risk that you're falling. So my left leg's in the chair. So if I was kneeling, this is the position. I do not weight vary on the leg. I'm definitely over my standing leg. I can move my weight bearing or my knee easily. So my leg is touching the back of the chair. Again, tuck. And I have that quad stretch I was looking for besides my hip flexor. I'm not getting much hip flexor because we just stretched it, right? So what I'd like to happen is neutral, push. And you notice that I'm not leaning forward. That's not it. It stays here, and I push the hip, push that thigh towards the back of the chair. And you're like, well, what can I modify? If I block my foot a little higher, right? I actually have a pretty good sized stretch. You can always get a band, a necktie, right? All the stuff. Again, I'm on my standing foot. I am not, my knee is movable in the chair. Push your hip. Push your hip. Lengthen out that quadricep. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna release. So again, you have plenty of variations that you can do to allow you to get in good body position. So again, you can start here, pushing the hip. If you have prosthetic knees, this is a great thing to do, right? Because you can get into that quad a little bit more. And again, if you don't feel it, walk the foot, right? And find your stretch. And I'm just moving the hip to the chair, to the chair. If you're not feeling it, reach down, grab that foot. And roll over. It's a chair, right? This really helps keep your technique. My shoulders relax. So I'm opening up my chest. I can feel my shoulder blade drop down in my back a little bit when I press my hip forward. Let's do a couple more. One more. Release. So we've stretched pretty much a lot of the angles of the pelvis. I'm going to call it the pelvis, right? We've done a little bit of rotation in the femoral head itself. We've opened up the back. I'd like to start working on opening up the chest a little bit more. Again, I'm going to lift this up because you don't really need to see my feet as much as you do upstairs. Left foot's in the chair. I want the left foot now, I want the right foot in my line. So, as you can see, my knee is not straight up and down. It's laying on the back of the chair. So I have just a smidge of external rotation. My standing foot, I'm going to turn it 90 degrees. So I'm a little more than 90 degrees in my pelvis, right? What I'm looking for is to block, rotate, right? Now, open the chest. My arm is not going behind me. My arm, I should be able to see my arm the whole time. That's where we're starting. Find your abs, find your hips. Now we're going to turn the palm over. Now push open. Push the door open. You're going to feel a little bit of a back, right? Push open. Push open. Push open. We're going to take this hand. I'm going to reach for your toes. Open. Reach for your toes. Open. Reach for your toes. Open. And again, my hand is blocking that knee the whole time. I don't want it to leave the back of the chair. One more, please. Nice. Take it down. So you should feel a little hip joint, you should feel the right side of the left side of your chest, and maybe the left side of your back as well. My foot's in the back of the chair, my leg is to hang out and lay on the back of the chair, which is quite nice. Right foot turns to the right, trying to get it at 90 degrees. So I have this lovely stretch on that inner thigh right now. I'm gonna let it stretch for just a second because it's like, oh, you want me to do something? Yes. Walk the knee. So when I walk the knee, I feel my side push forward. I try to relax my back for just a second so it can stretch. So remember, we're going to keep the arm in front of the body right now. Rotate. We have to get the movement first, right? And if your low back is tight, this movement is like, depending on how tight your hips are still, right? One side's always easier than the other. Yeah. And again, I'm thinking about maintaining that leg on the back of the chair. We're gonna flip the palm and open the door. Ready? Open the door, right? So you're pushing and your lat should fire up. Push and open. If your lat is firing up, that means the front of your body has to stretch, right? Your back is working, the front is stretching. Can you feel the stretch across the rib cage at all? Ready? We're going to sweep to the foot now. Ready? Sweep and open the door. Sweep and open the door. And I'm not leaning on the leg button, by the way. Right? That helps. I'm just making sure that leg is not coming off the chair. Down and open. Down and open. Let's do two more. Down. Open, one more. Nice. Hips should feel a little more loose, a little more mobile. Torso should be a little more mobile because we did forward and back. We did some rotational and now we just did some diagonals, right? We have to move in different directions to make our body functional. That's a good word, functional. Because we're in the chair, I usually don't do ankles and feet till the end. Because we're just good to know, right? Not that they're not important. If we were doing a standing, like a mobility too, I would have started with your feet. Seriously, like all about your feet. And now we're going to zoom in. I'm super excited. So, looking at the feet, maybe, there we go. We're going to go to a side angle position so you can see them cheek around. All right, so I'm at the front of the chair. So I want you to pay attention to direction. I'm going to roll to the outside of my feet. Outside of my feet. Just to let you know, I'm trying to keep my knees in check, right? I don't want to do this. Knees in check. So you can see that my feet inside edge is picking up. 4, 3, 2, now nothing but forefoot, up, up. Just doing some range of motion for just a second. One more. Now, heels, up, down, waking everything up that has to help move your feet up. And yes, your knees are going to go up because why? You're doing the calf raises basically 4, 3, 2, last one. Hard part, outside edge. Outside edge. Because my knees automatically, you've seen it, right? So if I block them with my hands, the outside of my ankles are like, oh, we're working. And again, if your outside of your ankles are working, what's happening on the inside? It should be stretching a little bit. One more. Nice. We're going to just do some like foot circles. Loosen them up. Make sure you go both directions. Excellent. We're gonna block the knee. I want to rotate the foot out and in. Rotate out, in, out, in. Nice. Out, in. And if your fingers are touching that low leg, you can feel some crazy movements going on. 4, 3, 2, come center. Same thing. This side is like, going, ooh, we can move, right? So this is really good for your ankles to have this range of motion. And 4, 3, 2, rest. Sometimes when we have ankle foot issues, knee issues, it's not always your quadricep and hamstring pulling or your IT. Sometimes it's down lower, right? It doesn't always have to be above. Sometimes it's lower. And we can fix some knee stuff by having all this mobility downstairs. So it's not tugging from this side. Hope this all makes sense. There are sometimes that I move my kneecap around if it feels tight. And it's amazing how doing manual manipulation, basically, of that kneecap, making sure it's movable, right? The kneecap should move a little bit. And it's not moving like this, it's moving like this, right? How much stress it takes off your knees, right? Being able to bend and flex and all the good stuff. All right, we have time for one more thing. Again, if you don't want to get on the floor, that's the most important part. So, just in case you didn't know, I have an issue with my left hip. I've had it for a while, and I have to keep working through it. Like after this class, I'm still going to do more mobility, a little deeper mobility. But this is where I start every morning. Seriously, every morning. So nice and tall. I'm going to rock forward and release. And what I feel is right here. Now you might not feel it, but I can feel it, right? I want to think about reach across, and that needs an external rotation. External rotation. We're going to do one more. We're going to do the other side. Knee is out, and my legs just totally relaxed, right? We start with the rock. And the funny thing is, like this side's a lot looser, but I still feel the left hip. Find the rotation now. And again, find the mobility. Abs are pulled up and in. We're gonna do one more. Both feet go up in the chair. You can do this on the floor, totally, right? But I can block my feet, right? So nice and tall. Ready? Reach forward, forward, forward. I want to reach above the back of the chair. I don't want to reach for my feet because it makes me round. And then I have to stretch. Reaching above, woo, all of this, right? I just took my legs totally out of the scenario. We're gonna go right to left, ready? To the right, to the left, to the right, to the left, one more each, right and left. Sit back in the chair. And he walks the right. Left leg crosses over right. So my right leg is more midline. Sit tall. We're gonna reach forward. Now we're finding some hamstrings. Awesome. And I'm gonna reach over to the left, ready? Reach to the left, find the rotation, find the rotation. 2 more. We're gonna switch the legs. So right leg's midline, left leg goes over, get nice and tall, reach above, hold on, push. This side feels me, right? So like I feel no hamstring. The other side, it was all hamstring. So these classes are about me just as much as you, right? Here we go. Reach across and reach and reach. Nice. Because sometimes it's one of the muscles or nerves are getting pinched, right? Because it's trying to do somebody else's job and it's now angry at you. 4, 3, we gotta figure out what it is. 2, 1 more. Nice. Woo. I hope you have a great day. It's a Thursday. We have less than a week before Christmas. Woo! It's super important for you to take care of yourself, especially during the holidays because of all the stress. You're like going, oh, but I have this to do, and I have that to do. If you don't take care of yourself, nothing's gonna get done. You're gonna feel terrible, and your body's going to say, stop. So take care of yourself during the holidays, even if it's only for 10, 15 minutes. Do something good for your body, and it will take care of you. Have a great day. Tomorrow is Unleash the Beast. Who knows what I'm gonna do? Peace, love, happiness.